You know what's awesome is when you get a song to mix that somebody sends you and the drums that are recorded are and then you turn around and you make the drums sound way better. There are a few really cool moves that you can make to completely transform your drum sound, and they don't really take that long to do. Cool, good talk. Wait. Hit the like button and subscribe. Okay, cool. Alright, so my favorite go-tos when I'm mixing drums, there's 4 things. First one is triggering the drums that are already there and adding drum samples. I'll link to the video where I already explained this in depth. 2, parallel compression. 3, adding distortion, saturation, and other effects in parallel with the drums. Alright, and number 4 is adding space and depth to the drums using reverbs, specifically automating reverbs. Alright, so as you can see here, I have pulled up a session. This is an old session with extremely okay drum recording. Like, it's okay, salvageable. We'll call it salvageable drums. And yeah, I've taken all of the plugins off of the drums, and I am going to just make sure they're all coming through my bus, and then I'll sort of break down. We'll go through each one of these steps to make these drums sound better. I'll throw these headphones on. All right, cool. These were tracked in a bedroom, and we're gonna make them sound better. All right, so we're gonna do the first thing here, which is to trigger the drums. We're gonna just do the kick and the snare because they need some love. Let's be honest. I'll pick out my samples here. Let's do a normal sounding kick drum. I love the Gretsch. And then let's listen to just the kick. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, cool. I'm not going to add too much of the sample room and chamber and all that. I just want the attack and then some sub underneath it. So I am straight up just going to commit that as is. Select our situation here. All right, I'm gonna commit that. And next, look at this. Man, how great is commit? Okay, snare drum. This snare needs some love. Let's listen to it raw and see how it sounds. Yeah, okay, salvageable. It's salvageable. My go-to snare on here is the Brady. Let's hear what it sounds like. And hear it in context. Great, and same thing, commit. How great is this? Technology, I feel like we're just saving so much time. Thank you, Steven Slate. And then let's do one more that's a little more fun. We're gonna open up my That Sound snare sample library, and then we'll listen to this again. Looks great. Okay, so far we have done 1 kick drum sample and added 2 snare drum samples. Let's hear it together again. We've added in our kick and snare drum samples, and they sound way better, a lot better already. So the next thing we're gonna do before we start adding in plugins and effects and all that, the way that I like to mix is what's known as top-down mixing. So I'm going to add some of the things that I like to see on my mix bus and on my drum bus into the mix, if you will. Sorry. So first thing, I'm gonna add an EQ onto my mix bus. Do something like grab a preset, mastering frequencies, sounds good. Next, we're gonna add in a compressor. I love this guy. There we go. We will just kind of dial this in. Next, we're gonna add another compressor onto our drum bus. I'm gonna use the same thing because that's what I do. We'll put this on 2, and then we'll just play with the attack and the release on this. Woo! Next, we're gonna add in some parallel compression and some cool aux effects. Here we go. So we're gonna add in stereo aux, and we're gonna do let's do 5. See what happens. All right. So now I'm gonna send my kicks and my snares to our parallel compression aux, and now that's gonna show up over here. Yeah. All right, we're gonna be slightly modest with our parallel compression because we're gonna add some other cool stuff here. This is a plugin from Waves called Aphex. I think that's how you say it. This one's cool because it's an exciter, so it does exactly what you would think it does, which it adds some excitement to the to whatever you send to it. So we're gonna send some drums there, and let's just listen to it exactly how it's set, whatever the default is. Okay, before, after. Okay, in case it's difficult for you to tell these subtle changes here, we'll do a before and after with all of this stuff in the context of the rest of the tracks here, because to an untrained ear, it might be very subtle, and that's what you want subtle changes. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to add some distortion. And we are going to use the decapitator, which I always forget is not on there. It is right here. Boom. The decapitator is a super awesome, it's basically a guitar pedal in my opinion. It's a compressor, it's distortion, it has EQ filters. It's crazy, super cool. I'm going to send the entire drum mix to the decapitator. Boom. Okay, now check this out. This will be cool. Okay, so this is extreme. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna dial in the decapitator. Check it out. Right now it has the low cut up pretty high. This is the high pass filter. I'm gonna drop it all the way down, and it has my high cut pretty drastic as well, and I'm gonna pull that almost all the way up. And then I'm going to tweak the tone knob, which has the darkness and brightness of the distortion, and we'll see how that affects the sound. Sick. Okay, now I'm just going to pull my output down quite significantly. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm getting a little bit of ring here, which might be cool, but I might gate this out from the original snare. So let's throw a little gate on this. Yeah, and we'll roll that bottom off. We don't need that. Okay, now let's listen to the drums again. Sick. Okay, and then next what we're gonna do is we're gonna experiment with adding space and depth to the drums by adding a reverb, and then we're gonna find a more extreme reverb, which might be cool to automate and only use on specific hits to really tell a story and keep the mix interesting and the song interesting in a way that you don't even really notice is happening until you take it out. We'll just call this room, and we'll send the whole kit there. And let's pick a reverb, Verb Suite Classics. And this is a Slate Digital plugin. I love reverbs. Reverbs are just like, can be a game changer. Okay, let's try, oh, CLA, this might be cool. I love that, and we're being very conservative with this. You're not putting the drums in a big room, you're just giving it some air. Love that. All right, and the last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna find some spots that might be cool to automate like a very unique reverb hit. So in other words, we're gonna find a strange reverb, and we're not gonna leave it on the whole time. What we're gonna do is we're going to automate it so that when you're hearing a measure of the drums play, it's just on one hit you hear this extra sort of tasty automated reverb. Let's find out what that is. Okay, so I've added the reverb. I'm labeling it smack. We're gonna listen to the drums play, and I'm gonna pull that reverb in on one snare hit, and I'm only triggering it from one of the snares sample that I added in. So the hit is going to be triggered from a sample that was triggered. Anyway, let's check it out. Hey, that was cool. Okay. All right, let's turn that up just a little bit and hear that again. Pretty cool, right? That's something that you can use maybe in exactly how I used it, or in a way that you find creative, or something that is interesting and sort of tells the story of the song, or whatever you want to do. I mean, do whatever you want to do. But this is a cool way to do it. I've added in some of the other instruments in this track. I'm going to automate that reverb in here a couple times, and you can see how it can be useful when you're mixing. There you have it. So this is before we added the samples, the parallel compression, the distortion, and the reverbs in. Okay, and now we'll add in all of the cool things that we did in this video. So yeah, these are some of my favorite ways to add some character to the drums to really help make them stand out in a mix and basically make them sound way better. Now you can just take a few minutes and tinker with the nuances of these different things and make it into your own sound, and hopefully this will give you some fun ideas. You know, you might not have any of these specific plugins, but use whatever you have in just the same workflow and get creative. There's no rules. These are just some really fun, interesting things that you can add to make your drums sound way better. If you like the video, gently just tap the like button, just tap it. And then also subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye. This was fun, man. I really like messing with drums and showing people these things because it makes such a big difference. Okay, I think I'm running out of memory card space here, so see you later.